The Indian women on a mission and they're headed to England where they'll be playing the Women's T20 World Cup, and it is hosted by England and Wales. And which country is going to win the T20 World Cup 2026 is what we are going to be talking astrologically in this video. Alright, so let me tell you in the very beginning that I am the astrologer. I'm the same astrologer who had predicted in the year 2019, okay, in my book How's That, predicted that Harmanpreet Kaur, at that time Harmanpreet Kaur as a captain, she was only being considered as a material for captaincy, but then nobody thought that she's going to go on to be one of the most successful captains ever. But I was the one who predicted that she will go on to be a very successful captain, and not just that, I had predicted that she will do a couple day. She will do something which no other Indian women cricketer has done before, that is going on to win a World Cup and a 50 over or a T20 World Cup, and she has won a 50 over World Cup, which is something huge, which is massive. Now the big question is, can Indian women under Harmanpreet Kaur and of course under Amol Muzumdar, can they go on to clinch and do the unthinkable, which is winning a 50 over World Cup and then winning a 20 over World Cup back to back, okay, which is very, very difficult feat. Can they do it? I'm going to talk about that astrologically. So first of all, okay, let me tell you upfront that it is going to be extremely difficult to do that kind of a feat. Yes, Amol Muzumdar has got a phenomenal horoscope, and he was an almost man who couldn't play for the country during his playing days, and he went on to be a mammoth in the domestic cricket. But then he played without playing for the country. He retired without playing for the country. So his karmic quota was all intact, and then he went on to win a World Cup. With Harmanpreet Kaur was born in the year 1990, the same year as Suryakumar Yadav, and the planet Pluto was entered into its own house after 250 years. It was the same time when the great Sachin Tendulkar debuted for the country. It was a historic moment, the late 1989-1990, and that is the time that that moment, that beautiful, astrologically significant, esoteric moment was the time when Harmanpreet Kaur was born, and she has achieved the biggest glory of her life, which is winning a 50 over World Cup. Now, if you're going to ask her to do a repeat of the same, maybe not winning another 50 over World Cup, but then winning another T20 World Cup is not possible at all. It is an impossible task because you have achieved just now, just a few months back, the biggest glory in cricket, and then if you're going to be vying for another huge cricketing glory, that is not possible. You won't be able to do it. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, the first thing that I have to tell you is that it's I have been consistently giving you a lot of good news in the last few years. The T20 World Cup in 2024, then Champions Trophy in 2024, then again another World Cup victory in 2026, then Women's World Cup victory. So I've been giving you continuously good news, but all good news also have to at some point of time they have to stop, right? The planets can't keep on giving you all the good things. So unfortunately, at this point of time, I have to give you the bad news that India won't be able to win the T20 World Cup. So Indian women will have to come back. Maybe Amol Muzumdar has it in him to produce another major victory, but Harmanpreet Kaur doesn't have it. So maybe they can only do it with another captain. So yes, we have a lot of other captaincy options we have, and who can do it for us. That's a different story. We can talk about that later. So if not India, then who can win? I mean, I'm not really done a huge research on that because I was just not in a happy frame when that India's not going to win. Then it doesn't make sense. Okay. So I think that there are not going to be any surprises. Last time around New Zealand won. It was a big surprise, and even West Indies has won once. That was also a surprise. I don't see any major surprise this time around. I'm not seeing a New Zealand winning. New Zealand has got a decent squad. They have a new captain. That is Amelia Kerr is the captain, but she's too young to win a major tournament. And the squad of West Indies is yet to be announced, but then Hayley Matthews is going to be the captain, and she doesn't seem to be having that kind of a horoscope, which indicates a World Cup victory. So I'm excluding her also from winning. So I feel it's going to be the top three, one of the top three teams from 3 to 1. I would say my number 3 would be South Africa. So South African captain Lara Woolbert has got a very good horoscope. She's a grey lizard, and these are grey lizard times. So it definitely is possible for a grey lizard to win a World Cup, and she has that kind of a planets which can help her do it. So she is number 3 for me. And number 2 for me is Australia. Australia's captain is also a grey lizard, Sophie Moloney, and born in 98. She is number 2 for me because she is in the earlier part of the grey lizard. So the earlier the part of the grey lizard you are, the more chances that you can win. The only reason why I feel Australia cannot win the World Cup is because they still have the coach Shelly Nishke, who has already won a World Cup for them, and she has also been a part of many victories even as a player. So the chances slightly goes down, but still they are a very strong team. They can still do it. So the captain can do it. So I would place them in number 2. And my number 1 team, which I feel has the highest chances to win the T20 World Cup, is England. They're playing at home, and Charlotte Edwards has got a phenomenal, outstanding horoscope. And Nat Schiver-Brunt has not done anything really significant as a captain. And I would feel that she's got a phenomenal horoscope. And Pluto is in 0 degrees, and planet Z and Neptune, deepest exaltation. She has got a very powerful chart, and she has it in her to win one major title. So I think she can do it. So yes, it's not a very, very good time for. It's not a bad time. It's like you just can't win the highest glory again. That is the thing for India. But the Indian women cricket team is definitely on a move. And when I see all these young girls here, we have this beautiful team, someone like a Kranti Gouds and someone like a Shreyanka Patil and Sri Charanis, and so many young girls, of course, Richa Ghosh, and not to forget the one and only Shafali Verma. The Indian women's cricket is definitely in safe hands, and we are only going to see more and more beautiful historic victories coming from this Indian women's team. So watch out, we are not done yet.